expressing how depressed I felt. But even when I express myself, I'm still fucking depressed. They say that that expression is the opposite of depression. I'm not so sure. Now, don't get me wrong. When you express yourself, you feel better. Believe me. But when you're expressing the fact that, we are all slaves on our own home planet, and you feel like nobody gives a shit that they're cucks to countries and borders and states of being, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you came out of your mother's vagina. Okay? You came out of your mother's vagina. And you were given a race, a creed, and a belief system. And everybody else was given a little bit different. And we're all separated. And we got to use these paper monies and these paper permission slips. And we got to pay for these paper permission slips with these monies. And it come down to it. The eagles are free. The lions are free. The gazelles are free. The chipmunks are free. The ants are free. But humans are slaves to red tape. They got us by the root chakra. By the fucking red of the root chakra. They got us fucking fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to play that back. You got to run that back and really meditate on it. Meditation is medication, and you're going to need to meditate a lot once you realize the truth, because you're going to want to go take some medication after you realize, just how enslaved we really are. God damn, I'm getting a little soft, eh? Look at this. Oh, I've been stressing to death over money, not having enough money, not being able to work like I used to after I got fucked over out of my I got fucked over at the place that I worked at. Never would have gotten hurt if they would have let my body adapt to the work. So when you go online, you see we'll be lifting 50 to 60 pounds, and then you end up making 100, 200, 300 pound racks every 7 minutes. And then you're like, okay, well, maybe they'll just let me take a day off till I can recover. Oh, no, just go home. You don't need the job. Well, I need the fucking job. I never would have fucking wasted my time at this interview if you guys wouldn't have lied on the application. So, of course, I just keep going. I used to drink really powerful energy drinks. Oh, I've been off the energy drinks now for a while, but this shit really is legit. It's legit pre-workout, but it's dangerous when you're taking 3 to 4 scoops of it just to get through a shift. Definitely increases the nitric oxide of the body, but doing this every day and not getting enough sleep and rest to recover, like, if it was really just 50 pounds, I would have been fine. Doing, 8 to 20, 8 hours a day of just moving and lifting 50 pounds all day long would have been great. But it wasn't. I was moving more than my weight 8 hours a day. And what happens is your tendons, ligaments, and joints start to disintegrate. Now, the reason why this helped so much until I collapsed and then fell back on my neck, somebody rolled a caster behind me, so actually I didn't collapse. I stepped back with the weight right as someone wheeled a caster that was this far away from my foot, stepped on it. My feet flew out from underneath me, and then that 50-pound piece came back down and hit me on my neck as my neck hit the concrete floor, and my shoulder and my elbow and my back. And yeah, it was fucked. So anyway, what I've been doing to heal myself, I did try to get another job for a while. It was short-lived. Barely put in any hours, but I was live streaming as a salesperson. Some weeks I didn't even work, but I didn't get fired. It was pretty chill there. But Tai Chi, Qigong, Pranayama, staying hydrated. I'm in hella pain today. I'm as much pain as I was when the injury happened. I'm at that level of pain just from throwing a couple punches and jabs yesterday at the park. And it was only a 30-minute workout. And but at least I'm trying to get my body strong. I'm trying to do something, right? Because the more dangerous the world gets, makes me realize I just need to learn how to hunt and forage and fish and fight. You know what else? When you can't work enough to survive with enough money, you need other skills, especially if we keep going on the path we're going as a collective. We were looking into doing the fuck ball. I was hoping that if I could fuck that fuck ball, if I could fuck as good as 5 Olympic athletes, I could really position myself as a good attraction for a woman. But the truth is, I came to the psychological conclusion that I could not procreate with a woman that can't walk the face of the earth butt naked. And it's a little chilly in here. I got my shirt off. I don't actually know I'm wearing this. Fuck this. I need to wear less clothes anyhow, because yeah, totally out of shape. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to even work again like I used to, so I got to figure out how to develop this. I have to figure out how to heal this so I can have some type of enjoyment and eventually be able to live off the grid. But right now I have to learn how to master this, because what I'm realizing is the whole world controls us through this. We're all controlled through this right here, the mind, which controls the body's health. I was controlled through the deception of working for somebody else and getting injured on the job. That really pisses me off. But you got to realize that this is the world we live in, right? It's Darwinism, survival of the fittest. And sometimes the fittest are community oriented, and sometimes the fittest are solo and they do good navigating their own life. And sometimes when you don't fit into any group, you kind of have to figure out how to navigate the world yourself with your own principles, and that can be difficult. And sometimes you'll get down on yourself, you'll get depressed, you physically won't be able to do anything. And so it's a journey. It's definitely healthy to have community, 100%. So these are just some of the things I've been learning. Keep on learning and soaking up the game. If things aren't working, don't be afraid to change. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, I just realized something. I need a shower so bad. I feel it's so disgusting. I have this shit bag in here. So I shit in these bags, and sometimes I don't throw them away right away, and you could smell it. But if anyone's ever ends up living in their cars, I highly recommend this from REI. It's kind of big, but it's a pop-up toilet like that. See that? And yeah, you just put the bag in it like that, and then you can take a shit right in that bag. Now normally with the regular composting toilet, they're bigger, you gotta buy stuff, but they do smell less, but that's why you want to throw out the bags. But right now I'm just gonna use it as a stool to sit on. No, actually I'm gonna do some Tai Chi. I've been laying down for 3 days in a row. I did the 30 minutes of boxing 3 days ago. You gotta. I just felt their aura, and I went with it. You know, it's good to have strong people around you. If you're by yourself, and you'll forget your strength sometimes, and you'll allow yourself to wither away. You'll become too mental. And that's the problem, and that's the main thing that I've been trying to talk about on this channel is I'm sick of using money. It's like Cat Williams said, you know, you're gonna pay us to fucking eat the goddamn fruit. I just want to pick the fruit off the trees and eat the fucking fruit. Swim every day, climb trees like Tarzan. This is a life that's really natural to me, and it's eco-friendly, you know. Nothing wrong with that. We're addicted to stuff, but having stuff really takes away from our ability to go inward, and strengthen and fortify the mind, body, and spirit, and the relationships that we have in our lives or don't have in our lives. I am a minimalist. Yes, I have been living in vehicles for the last 8 years. Yes, I used to own a house, jet skis. I used to speed everywhere I went. You know, I used to drive fast and enjoy my life. But I was working also, and something was empty about it. There was something empty. I just felt empty. Then I started boozing with the fools, you know. Then I started smoking weed with the fools. Luckily, I only did that for about a year, but that completely made me go from working 16-hour days, 7 days a week, to traveling and hiking waterfalls. You know, I had a great time just being out in nature, just hiking waterfalls. Like, it was great. Ugh. Being in nature, it's just so simple. There's nothing to be angry at, mad at. And that's kind of what I want to do. I don't know what my path is. I've got so many ideas, and I'm so ADHD about what path I want to take. I just don't know. So I just decided to switch the giant sword workout to the solely fractured man, and I think that we're all in some way solely fractured, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. You got to be fractured in some way, you know, at least once or twice a day. I mean, if we could hold natural joy, peace, bliss, eternal ecstasy, unconditional love, and absolute vitality, and strength and health in our aura, our being, well, and then surround ourselves with those that could do the same. Wow, what a natural ecstasy, high in vitality that would be. I want to talk about some things that had come up for me. I realized one of the reasons why I did something horrible to a woman that I was with, I pushed her into an abortion, and she was screaming at me. And she was screaming at me. It felt like an hour. and for good reason, because she didn't want to get rid of the life that she was holding in her tummy, because she was connected to this life that was within her. And I forgot what it was like to be connected to my mother. I realized this last week was because I was circumcised. Um, Thankfully, I've been able to think and relive those experiences. I'm starting to dream about being circumcised and being pinned down to the cross. It's almost kind of like a cross, and they just kind of strap you in, and then they chop off your penis skin. And so I've been having those dreams, 3 to 4 times a week, and I've been able to understand myself better now that I can remember what happened to me. And now that I've been able to work through that pain, I've been able to remember being inside my mother's womb and feeling the love of my mother. And I never remembered that up until I remembered and went through the pain and suffering that I blocked out of being strapped down to a little table that, and like a cross, and having my some fucking medieval fucking torture shit, right? So yeah, pretty fucked up, eh? Yeah. And I'm not very happy about it, let me tell you. So yeah, that is true. If you were circumcised, you were disconnected in memory and in the nervous system from the love and the stem cells of understanding how to recreate stem cells in your body, because you were being created in 9 months with stem cells in your mother's womb, and you could feel the energy that was doing that. But when they chop off your dick in, you lose consciousness of how to live long, and then you're thrown into a death energy. So I'm realizing that really all my darkest demons and my destructive tendencies came from being disconnected from the love and the source of my mother. Um, you know, it was demonology. It was demonology. Circumcision is a dark art of creating demons. I realize that now, and I have to face the demons that I am, and so that I can understand why I resonate with them. And it really comes back to circumcision. So it's been very interesting, But I've been able to spend more time in the womb and feel those memories in her tummy and the love that she had. But I also remember the judgment that she was facing, because she would lay naked with me in her backyard out in the sun, because she was so connected to her body. She wanted to give me the best birth that she could, but the father wanted to use force and violence because they were persuaded by the doctor, and the doctor was using a lot of fear tactics to try to get me circumcised. So she just went along with it because there was violence. So it's very retarded. It's very, very retarded. So I am my mother and my father, so there's that karma. I am them. So I chose this for myself, and I am the universe, so I chose this for myself unconsciously, because it's very, very unconscious to chop off your son's dick skin. You're setting your child up for failure in the mental, physical, spiritual, and financial realms by disconnecting them from source and destroying the bond of love. That's the easiest way to extract and keep people weak, is to destroy the bonds of love of their children by persuading them to chop their son's penis skins off, because they're going to resent you unconsciously in their aura, not even knowing or remembering why, mostly because the pain was so difficult, they just put it out of their minds as babies. So yeah, something to deeply think about and integrate, and know your own shadow, and realize that that's been done to a large majority of people from the United States. And you know, it makes you pretty fucked up. You know, it makes you pretty resentful unconsciously, of just something just never sits right with you, because you're not right. Like, you're not whole. You can't create the same amount of oxytocin that you would of serotonin, dopamine. You've destroyed a part of the gland which allows your body to function and create reality how it was supposed to be created out of your mother's womb. So, anyway, some of the things I've been doing to heal myself has been some Tai Chi, some Qigong, and some stretching. Right now, my shoulders are popping and clicking just from some simple punches, which is crazy. You know, it all goes back to, being a slave at the factory at Amazon. You know, and they're like, "Oh, well, you consented to it." Okay. They got you so locked into money, you have to do something, right? It's uh, it's strategic slavery. That's what it is. That's how they get you. Okay. Uh, I'm not gonna do any. I'm too weak. My body is even too weak to move. I can barely stand. So we'll just make it about that. But that's another way that you can heal. You have to tap into your memories and understand how your thoughts how they are, and that's going to allow you to see reality the way that it is. Because when your vessel is connected to reality and a falsity of not understanding yourself, you lose power. So you have to be able to face your darkest demons. Until you heal the wound of circumcision, you need to relive seeing yourself as the baby being strapped down and tortured and having your dick skin fucking chopped off. You need to do it, because you're never going to understand and remember what it was like being in the womb. You have to sit in that memory to be close to the womb, because that was right around the time, right when you came out the womb, all that happened. All right, y'all. Well, may your days be filled with absolute healing, vitality, joy, peace, bliss, eternal ecstasy, unconditional love, and absolute vitality. And may we become more present with our bodies, past, present, and future, our minds, past, present, and future, our spirits, past, present, and future, our souls, past, present, and future, and the entire universe, which makes us up, because we are infinitely, eternally connected to the universe, past, present, and future. Bless up, bless in, bless the universe. You are the universe.